What's up everyone, Michael aka Spirit Shard here with an early impressions for Brawlhalla, a free-to-play, what I like to call competitive brawler. It's kind of a game to where it's 2 to 4 players versus each other and you're trying to beat each other up basically. And that's kind of the gist of the game. It's technically sort of like a multiplayer arena game. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and check it out. I should be up front. I do like this game. I've been playing it for about a week and I'm like, man, this is super awesome. However, I kind of missed the ball on it because I had closed beta access. However, I kept pushing it down the list on games I needed to check out. And then I just found out a week ago, I was like, oh, it's released in open beta. So this is open beta and I'm rather enjoying it. And I wanted to do a video on it because it's awesome and so on and so forth. But I'm obviously going to be talking about the negative side of it too, because there is a few things that are not quite perfect. Anyways, let's go ahead and check it out. So first off, there's not very many graphics options, so let's go ahead and look into it. It is a 2D game, and it is all 2D graphics, and so it's not very intensive. In fact, the game runs extremely well, so that's not really a concern. However, you got your options, you got music volume and sound volume. I would like to see an announcer option, as in being able to turn off the announcer, because there is an announcer in the game and some people might get tired of him, like me. I don't know why, but for some reason announcers kind of get on my nerves after a while. That's mostly a personal thing, so I would like to see the option because more options are always better, but whatever. And then you got full screen. If I go ahead and click this, you'll see it went into windowed screen, and I'm actually capturing it because this game runs in borderless. I can't get it to run in dedicated full screen. So yes, so do keep in mind it is borderless no matter what you do, so you can alt tab if you wish. And then you have show names. This is going to show names above characters and the HUD icons that you'll see at the top right once we get into the game. I have it set to HUD and U, which is going to show it on the HUD, and then it's also going to show it above my character. That way you guys can keep track of my character more easily, because this game does get quite hectic. In fact, it's going to be really hard to commentate over. And then you can also set it to never, which is actually the default, I believe. And then you have the HUD only, which is what I like to play with it on, and you have HUD and world, which is actually going to show it on all the characters and all the HUD elements. However, I'm going to leave it on HUD and U just so you guys can follow me. Then you have controls. I do want to mention there is full controller support. However, my controller ended up breaking a few days ago, so I don't have a controller to play this game with anymore, which kind of sucks. So I've been getting used to the keyboard controls. However, both control schemes actually work very well. So this game is extremely responsive, which is actually my first compliment of the game. We're not even in the game, but I'm going to keep forgetting to mention that if we get into game and I don't talk about it now. So this game is extremely responsive and very fast. So props to them on that one. So anyways, you got your default configurations. Now all these are actually bound, so you can actually use any of these and it doesn't really matter. You can actually use WASD and the mouse, or you could just use WASD and you could use ZXCV if your hands are some ungodly mutant thing, and you can do that. So anyways, we can also change these, change controls. Now, one thing that's nice is you can actually set 2 keys to do the same thing, which is how you can actually have arrow keys as both your movement, and then you can have WASD as your movement as well. You can't double bind though, so if you see this L here, if I click on another one and say have that as L, then it will actually unbind the last thing that had L on it, so you can't actually double bind. But it's nice to be able to bind 2 keys to each thing, and I'm not going to apply that because I'm fine with default. You can also rebind the gamepad controls, I think. Like I said, I don't have a gamepad right now because mine broke, so I'm just assuming off of what I remember. But yeah, so anyways, game controls are pretty much exactly what you'd expect on the controller anyways. Anyways, then you got exit game, which I'm obviously not going to click on. Now there's 3 kind of game modes, I'm going to say, in here. There's the online mode, which is going to be a 4-minute kind of 4-player free-for-all, which is the mode that I mostly play because it's really fun and hectic. You got your custom games, which is going to be different options. I'll go ahead and look at this after we play our first online game. And then there's going to be ranked, which is going to be your competitive 1v1 and 2v2, interestingly. So I wish I had a friend to join in. However, I couldn't get anybody to join me for a 2v2 video or whatever. So that kind of sucks. So we'll be doing a 1v1 match. So I'm going to play one online match and then maybe some custom match after a 1v1 match, depending on the length of the video and how much I want to say. Anyways, let's go ahead and look on to the online. Now, I do want to mention right off the bat that you do not have all the characters right away. Instead, you have a free rotation, so you actually have these characters. However, you can unlock all the characters through the in-game currency. You can also buy a pack, which actually just gives you all the characters forever, which is, I think it's $20 right now. So a lot of people like seeing that, and so that is there. I'll talk about the cash shop and such later on in the video after this match. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and select our character. I'm going to select the archer person here, so Ember. And it already set mine to blue, but you can actually change the color. So here's the default. You can change the color to whatever you want. As you level up the character, or as you play as them, you actually get levels on characters, and that'll unlock other customization options, so different colors and such. So I'm on level 2, which actually unlocked this brown color, which I actually don't like that much, so I'm going to go back to blue. But yeah, so I'm going to be this blue character, and I'm going to go ahead and select this one. You can also get different things within the cash shop to customize your character as well, including different weapons. Now, this is actually one of the main mechanics of the game as well. So in other competitive brawler type games, it's not uncommon for them to have like weapon and item drops. And then they'd be like consumables or something you have for a certain limited time. However, in this one, you can actually pick up a weapon and use it for the entire fight. And we'll see that when we get into the game because it's a core mechanic and we'll see a lot of it. You can also have multiple people join you in the lobby. So there is a lobby thing. I don't have any friends online, so I can't invite anybody. I couldn't get anyone to join me, which sucked. But yeah, you can actually, you know, get other people, and it does support local multiplayer as well. So if I had a secondary keyboard or I had a controller to plug in or anything like that, I could actually have them join in the game as well, which is quite nice. So it is a great co-op game, like couch co-op, or, well, not really couch co-op, couch competitive, I guess. Couch play, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna find a game. I'm just rambling now. So it's gonna start us off in this little test room before we find a game. However, finding games goes extremely quickly. Now, my first caveat with the game is actually the free-to-play model. It doesn't give you all the characters free right off the bat, as I mentioned. And so basically what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of the same characters when you're first starting off. Now, obviously, as the game gets older, this isn't going to be the case. You know, you're going to actually see a lot more people having different characters. There's going to be a lot more people who unlock them through either the in-game currency or through, you know, buying them. And if you get high in the ranks, there's obviously going to be people who unlock their favorite ones, and then they're going to be very practiced with those characters and so on and so forth. However, right now, in its current state, I see a lot of the free-to-play characters and then not very many of the other ones, which is quite unfortunate. But that will get fixed over time, but it is an issue right now. Now, what are we doing in the game? Because you see me jumping around and you see everyone, and I just flew off the screen. I'm dead. We'll come right back. So you basically got your 2D movement. I'm going to throw a bomb at that guy. Haha, go flying. So basically, you got your 2D movement. Your left and right, jump, and then downwards. This one doesn't have any platforms, so we'll probably play another game that will have a platform in it. But normally there's a platform, you just hold down and you go on the platform. Now it's very, very smooth and extremely responsive, as I was saying. So like, if you click a key, you're doing that action. And this game actually doesn't have any lag issues for me. I know some people have been complaining about that, however, it doesn't happen with me, so I don't know how to speak on that. I think it depends on your region currently, because it is an open beta, and so there's going to be some lagging issues. Now, the game is very, very fast-paced, and as you can see, we're actually just running around punching each other non-stop. This game is very simple to understand, as in, you know, you have your heavy attack and you have your light attack, and then basically different directions are going to cause different attacks. So an up and light attack is going to be a different move than a down and a light attack. So you do have those things, and there is a kind of a consistency to it, like up. Oh, I just flew off screen again. This is very hard to commentate over, by the way. I'm very sorry for my poor performance. The attacks actually have a very consistent feel to them. So if you hit up and use an attack, that's going to launch enemies upwards, and it's going to give you a short burst upwards. If you go down, it's going to do the same thing downwards, or left and right, and so on and so forth. Or, you know, the main sit down attacks and stuff like that. So far, the non-moving attacks. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to focus and play at the same time. I just now realized my mouse is on the screen as well. I apologize for that. I do that every time I play this game. Now that actually is a complaint. If you're not even using the mouse still shows up on the screen, which I hope they fix. Go into the air, you jerk. There we go. I'm not doing so well, but this is actually a fairly even match. So that's quite nice. Now as you see, we're actually picking up weapons, and they just knocked the weapon out of my hands. So each character actually has 2 different weapons that you can pick up and you can use them. You can also throw them if you don't want them. Like, I'll just throw my daggers at that guy and then fly off the screen because I got hit in the back. But yeah, so you actually can pick up 2 different weapons, and different weapons will kind of counter each other's playstyle theoretically. I don't know for sure, because obviously I'm not playing at a very high level. I'm just playing on the casual play it when I feel like it. I've only played the game for about 2.5 hours total, so I'm not too far advanced into it, but there's also a lot of different moves that you can do with them. And each one will have different moves. So on each different character, one character will have like different charge moves with one one weapon. However, a different character will have different moveset with the same weapon. I just launched myself off the screen. That was lame. And then there's also different items that you can pick up. So like the bomb, which I accidentally used too close to me, it actually launched me off of the map as well as everyone else. Now there's also a dodge in the game as well. So if you actually hit the Z key, or I forgot what it is on the controller. But anyways, there's a dodge that will actually make you go behind any damage that would do it. And it only lasts like a half a second. So you actually have to be quite accurate with it. And you cannot spam it. If you try to spam it, you're just going to end up getting hit anyways. And I'm surprised I'm not last right now because talking over this is very difficult. And 4 minutes went by really, really quick. There we go. It does like to freeze up after a game, which is quite annoying. But then it goes into this thing and it shows everyone who won. And it's just like, this player won. Woo! So those matches are actually extremely quick. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do another one because I wasn't really done talking. But we're going to go ahead and say GG by hitting X. And it automatically does that. It does have chat. You just hit enter and you enter in the chat. No one uses chat in-game. I don't even think there is a chat in-game, but whatever. And then we're going to go ahead and hit next. Here you see the character XP, so I'm level 2 with this character. And then you get a little bit of gold, which is the currency of the game, which you can actually use to unlock stuff. Now, before we go into another game, I will quickly talk about the cash shop, because a lot of concerns with the free-to-play model is the pay-to-win aspects and such as that. Luckily, this game is avoiding it, and that is quite awesome. So here you'll actually see the featured stuff, and you'll see one character. It's like, hey, this is a character, and this is how much gold it costs. So the gold is the currency that you get for free. Now they also have another currency, which is the paid one, called Mammoth Coin, I believe. If I hover over this to say it. No. Anyways, yeah, I think it's called Mammoth Coin. And down here, you actually see the All Legends pack. So this will actually unlock down at the bottom. It'll actually unlock all the characters. Now, for right now, I think it's $20. I don't know if that's going to change at any time or anything like that. But that actually unlocks all the Legends, which is what they call the characters in this game, for all time. So you actually have them all. So if you don't want to play something like this and be like, oh, I don't have access to the character, you can literally just pay a flat fee and get all of them forever. So if you really like the game, you can do that. Anyway, so here's all the Legends. You can actually unlock all of them with the coins. They do have some cost differences. I think that depends on when they released. So the newer ones are going to be more expensive than the old ones. So, you know, if you wait long enough, it'll just be a cheaper one. So you can get the old ones for cheaper coinage and all that. Then you have everything else that is actually going to be all cosmetic stuff. So there's nothing you pay for that actually gives you more power. So all these ones are skins. And so you can get different skins. They actually have some fancy looking skins. Then you can also get item skins, which is going to be skins for your weapon. And so these aren't too expensive either. I think a skin is like $7-ish. So these 140 ones are about $7. I think it's $10 for 200 mammoth tokens. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to bring up the buy thing because I think that brings up the Steam overlay. Unless they changed it, but I don't want to bring that up anyways for security reasons. And then you also have taunts, which is going to be little emotes that you can do. I never find time to actually do them in a match because I'm always doing something. If you find time to do a taunt in a match, then you're probably just going to get beat up or you're not winning, one or the other. Or you're just completely dominating, which I'll talk about when we start the next match. Then you get your sidekick, which is the little thing that carries you back into the match when you get flown off the screen. And then you also have colors, which is actually unlocked with gold, supposedly. What this does is once you get a legend to a certain level, it'll actually unlock the white and black color schemes, which you can actually unlock. And then you can also review your purchases, which I have made none, so I don't see those. You can also go and view your account details over here. So there is no pay to win stuff. I should probably mention that right away. So there is no pay to win. So you're super safe on that. Unless you consider unlocking characters as pay to win, which I don't. And I don't believe in that mentality because I think the more you play, the more characters you're going to try out and the better you'll get with specific ones. Being able to try new characters isn't specifically going to make you more powerful. So that's my view on that. Anyways. So here's my account details. You can actually get a normal level, which I'll actually give you a little bit bonus when you level up all the way. I'm level 6 currently after about 2.5 hours. I have screwed around a little bit with custom games, which actually didn't get me experience, but whatever. So I think playing online and playing ranked will get you experience. I need to play 3 more ranked 1v1 games to get ranking on the leaderboards and all that stuff. However, there is like special rankings, so it'll try to match you up with people to your skill level, which is quite nice. Some games don't do that, and it's very annoying, but this one does. Then you have your user settings. Right now it just has region, so you can actually change your region. I'm in the United States, so I'm in the United States. Then it has replays. This is actually interesting. Now, if the game updates, your old replays are no longer usable, and it only saves a certain amount, I believe. So do be aware of that. However, if I click on one of these, like let's say that last match I can click on here, and it'll play like a normal match. and you can actually fast forward, go to different points on it, and be like, oh, this is what's going on in this part of the match. And you can actually re-watch what you've done. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and say leave match. And then you also have match history, which currently isn't available as the same with statistics and achievements. These will be added later on, probably around the official release time. This is open beta in the time that I'm making this video, so there is that. Now let's go ahead and play one more online game, and then I'll talk about the... Actually, no. Before we do that, I'll go ahead and talk about the custom games, just so you guys know what you can do. Actually, I'm going to do this, and then I'm just going to go into a single player match to explain the other mechanics. Or maybe I should just go into a ranked 1v1. I don't really know yet. We'll find out when I get there. Anyway, so here's going to be the custom match. You can invite people. You can also add bots, which is quite nice. You can also do this for local multiplayer as well. So I can be like, add bots. And then you can click on this one and be like, oh, I want them to be super ultra hard, or I want them to be super ultra easy. And you can change their difficulty and stuff like that. You can also change the character that they are playing, I believe, as well. I don't know how to do that, but you can. Maybe you can't. I don't really know. Maybe you can't at the moment. So maybe you can't change the character, but I'm sure that'll be a feature in the future. A feature in the future. That is a tongue twister. Anyway, so up here at the very top, you can see settings. You can actually change this. So they have 4 different kind of game types. So you have time mode, which is the one that you play in the online mode. And this is when you're basically trying to knock as many people off the match or off of the stage as possible, and you get points for knocking people off. You lose points for getting knocked off, and you also get points for assist. I think you get 1 point for an assist and like 3 for killing somebody and stuff like that, so on. So basically this is what's going to be in the online mode, and it's based on a timer. Then you have stock mode, which is going to be live, so the more times you get knocked off, the less lives you have. And then you have brawl ball, which I've never played, and bomb skit ball, which I've never played as well. These are going to be like more like sportsy type stuff, and mostly the stock, brawl ball, and the bomb skit ball are going to be mostly the for fun type games. And then you have the time mode, which is going to be your main core game. Now let's go ahead and go into a ranked 1v1. I've decided that's what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go 1v1. And yes, by the way, there is 2v2, and you can join a friend in that. You don't have to play with a random person. Actually, I think you have to join another person. But let's see. Let's go ahead and pick the archer again, because... Actually, no. Let's go ahead and hit random, because I don't care who we play. Let's do this. It's going to start us off in this little testing machine thing. Now, it does take a little bit more time to find a ranked game, just because, quite simply, it takes time to find somebody at your skill level. There we go. Apparently, that song makes them happy. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the last of the game mechanics while I'm getting my ass kicked. So basically, in the top right, you'll actually see the HUD, and you'll see that little bar, and that's going to be how much health you have, essentially. So if you're white, you're not damaged at all. If you're red, you're damaged a lot, and you're going to basically go flying a lot. Now this person's going to try denying me a weapon, and I'm not very good with Scarlet, so this is probably not going to end very well. But let's go ahead and focus a little bit. And boom. Nope, I missed. Also, let's talk about the art style and sound effects. Now, I personally think the sound effects are awesome. The visual style is a little bit strange, though. So, the backgrounds are very painterly. However, oh wow, they knocked me into my own bomb. That was lame. I'm just gonna get wrecked here. Now, one of the things that I think is kind of inconsistent is the character models are very cel-shaded while the background is kind of painterly and all that, which I think it's fine from a visual standpoint. Like, being able to see your characters a lot easier because of this. So it's not necessarily a complaint, but some people aren't going to like the visual style that this game has chosen. I know that a lot of people have problems with what they like to assume is a Flash game style of look, which is essentially just like the vector style, because that's what Flash generally uses for their graphics. Now, the thing that I do like about it, though, is it's very easy to see where you're going, and it's very easy to tell where people are actually using their attacks, which is extremely important in games like this. So I'm going to fling him up to the air. Nope. I'm not very good with Scarlet, but I just knocked him into the air. Now, I'm also not ranked, so I'm playing against other people who are also not ranked or very low ranked, so do keep that in mind while I'm doing this. There's a lot more skill-based stuff that you can do in this, and this game actually has a possibility of being a very competitive scene. Like, it's got a lot of potential for that competitive type game style, because it has the solid mechanics and the quite solid balance. Like, I would say it's quite balanced. From my experience, it's quite balanced. That it could actually be quite a competitive game on a very, popular level. And if games like Super Smash Bros. Can be competitive, then definitely this game could have a competitive scene. It's all about getting people to play it, though. That's gonna be the core problem of it. I think I'm out of things to say at this point. Now I'm just kind of like, let's try and win this match. Now, one thing that does happen quite often is that in the online mode, it doesn't really, like in the normal online mode, not the ranked version. In ranked, this isn't a problem. But in the normal ranked mode, you run into a problem to where one person is going to be really good while all the rest of the people are going to be very poor or medium quality or average. So you'll get this one person who just completely dominates everyone. And then you're going to have everyone else who's just getting completely dominated. So you'll end with one person with like 12 score or 20 score or whatever, and then everyone else with negative score, which happens more than I'd like. I'm getting better at the game, and so I'm kind of becoming that person, or the person who at least targets them. So like in games like that, I'm like, hey, I need to focus this person, and I slammed them with the hammer. That was awesome. By the way, this game is super, super satisfying when you actually get, stuff going properly. Now, another thing I would like to see is maybe a voice chat. I don't know if there is a voice chat. There could be a voice chat, and I just haven't figured out the option for it, and I'm just talking away, and people are listening to me like, what the hell is this guy doing? But for me, I haven't seen it. I don't know if you can enter in the chat. No, you can't actually enter in the text chat either while you're in-game. Let me see this weapon. Oh, this isn't the weapon I wanted. I had the weapon I wanted. I just threw it because I could, and I was bored. Oh god, no! I didn't make it. I just lost. It's because I threw away my weapon. So, that's Brawlhalla. And yeah, I kind of ran out of things to say. It's not a complicated game. Like, it's one of those games that's very easy to understand and get how to play. Like, anybody can really play this. If you know how to use, buttons, you can play this game. So there is that, and it's going to be a very, very fun, a bunch of friends just playing a game together, that type of game. However, it does have this underlined complexity with the dodge mechanics, each character having their own special moves, and obviously there's different ways to kind of just push people off of the screen that most people wouldn't know. Like, let's say somebody's about to jump on a ledge, you could just go over and slam a hammer on their face and just, knock them off the stage. So there's going to be a lot of, like, different, more solid mechanics to it than that. And it does have a simple art style, however, it also makes it very easy to play and very easy to run. This is probably one of the best running games I've played in a long while. It runs super flawlessly. I think it's locked at 60 FPS. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But I believe it is. Like, I just run on a 60Hz monitor. However, I have never gotten a frame drop, and it actually runs on my laptop, which is running a freaking Intel Pentium processor. So this game, like, you can run it on pretty much anything. And also, given the, free online, like, you can actually play it free online, and you can also play it, free offline even, is actually quite nice, being able to do that. Now, one of the things I didn't mention about the offline mode is you can only use the characters that you have unlocked. And so, if you want to use characters that you don't have unlocked, you're going to have to either buy them all with the all champion or all legends pack, or unlock them with gold by playing the online mode. However, I don't find that as much of an issue because obviously they have the free rotation, which also counts for the multiplayer, or yeah, local co-op, multiplayer, whatever you want to call it, mode. So yeah, anyways, this has been Michael, aka Spirit Shard, with Brawlhalla, a free-to-play competitive brawler with 2 to 4 players. It's actually quite fun if you just want a fun game to screw around on, or you want to try and get into a competitive brawler but don't want to play games that aren't super balanced. But this one is actually super balanced, so this is actually a good pick for that type of competitive scene. So if you want to see a competitive scene for this game, go ahead and check it out. You might not like the art style. Some people are going to have a problem with the art style, but if you can get past that or actually adore the art style, like, I think it's quite fine. It makes things easy to see and read. Then, check it out. It's free to play, so easy to download. Very small game too. But yeah, once again, Michael, aka Spirit Shard, with Brawlhalla. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.